We're back. Man, this felt like forever. We're back. Welcome back to the Ambassador Sports Network. I'm your host, Dalitso Kulameka.
I'm Jonathan Walden.
And I'm Shane Dunkley.
And man, we have not recorded in 2 weeks, and that feels like it's been about 2 years.
Literally.
It's true. I'm here in the studio, but my mind is still in Puerto Rico.
Yeah,
oh man.
Because that's where I was for spring break. Shane, how about you?
I was not in Huntsville.
Oh, okay, out and about.
So you want to be anonymous?
Yeah. I don't know where I was, man. I just wish I wasn't here.
You just away from school, away from school chilling.
Literally.
Okay, man, I feel it. Well, guys, we're in that second half stretch of the sports season, of the spring season, and the basketball tournament's over.
Oh yeah.
We didn't get a chance to talk about that before we left, and I was dreading this recording.
Yeah.
I was dreading it because we got to tell you guys what happened in the tournament, and then we're going to update you guys on what's going on with the softball and the baseball teams, and then we're going to talk about Bam Adebayo, 83 points in a game, second most points of all time in a game. Scored.
I mean, do we? Okay.
We'll get into that for later.
Okay, all right.
But without further ado, you ready, brothers?
Hey, man.
Straight to
Born
it.
ready.
So, we'll start with the girls' team, the women's team. The Lady A's played in the HBCUAC tournament, and the historical season came to an end. 17-9 on the year, 10-2 in conference play. After getting 2 first-round byes, then beating Wilberforce 80-66, the Lady A's had a rematch with Russ College, who they went 1-1 with on the regular season, with the lone loss coming due to forfeit at the end of the year, which we already touched on previously. So before we get into the Russ game, let me quickly hear you guys' thoughts about the Wilberforce game and what you guys saw in that game.
Well, what I saw from that game is really what we've been seeing all season from the Lady Ambassadors. These stretch of runs where they could, spark off a couple threes, and all of a sudden they could turn a game where they're down 10 points to a game when they ultimately won by 15.
And also, in addition to that, I saw what we've been saying all year, no scouting report. We saw that in that game with about 4 players in double figures. 3 of them having 20, I believe.
Yeah, anybody can get it. And the Oakwood Ambassadors proved once again, not a surprise, but they proved once again that they can go on these long runs and ultimately place their highest potential, which is why they were the 1 seed coming into the HBCUAC tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. When we were there watching the quarterfinal game against Wilberforce, they started off slow. They had a 2-week bye. They haven't played basketball in 2 weeks against an opponent at least. And you saw the rust, them shaking off the rust. But once that second half comes in, once they play that second half, that third quarter,
we see it.
2017 Warriors, Kevin Durant, Curry, Klay Thompson.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison.
Just wasn't fair.
At that point, we knew that third quarter avalanche happened. We knew it was over with. And Kamari Murray led the team with 21 points, 6 assists, and 7 rebounds in that game. Tranisha Adams had 19 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds. And Lydia Josiah coming off the bench with 18 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds. Like Lisa said, and like we've all been saying about this women's team, there is no scouting report. And there was no scouting report in that quarterfinal matchup against the Wilberforce Bulldogs.
Yes, and you speaked on it. Speaking of shaking off the rust, the Lady Ambassadors could not shake off the rust. The Bearcats in that second game. In the semifinals, the Lady A's would go on to play the Russ Bearcats in a game they led the whole way. They would fall defeat 74-71, and Russ went on to win the championship. Player of the Year, Patsy Johnson for the Russ Bearcats, had 25 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, and Unique Miller and Talia Cawthorn had 17 and 16 points apiece. The season ended. This was a Lady Ambassador team that was expected to win the tournament. We expected them to become the best Lady A's team of all time. And I'm going to step outside of my analyst position real quick. We got to be objective. But I'm going to step outside of that real quick. This loss hurt. This loss hurt. For me, for the fans, for the alumni, for the coaches, for the players, everyone was sad. Nobody expected them to go out there and lose to Russ, a team who they beat by 29 earlier in the year, to go out there and lose by 3 in the playoffs. But it was a little bit early. It wasn't March just yet, but it's March. It's a tournament. One game happens, and And that's all you need. And we saw in this game, what did you guys see in this game ultimately that led to the Ambassadors falling defeat?
Well, first I have to give the Lady Ambassadors credit. I know you said before they had potential to be the best Oakwood women's team in their history. I'm going to just come on, Olymp and say it. This is the best women's Oakwood Lady Ambassadors team of all time. I'm just going to put that out there, right? Especially considering the conference that they play in. I'm not trying to diss the conferences back in the day, but this is a real conference. This is basically Division III, so definitely the best Oakwood women's ambassadors team of all time. But I have to give credit to Russ. Right?
Let me. I won't say best. Maybe most talented. Maybe most talented, but I can't say best.
Most talented. You could say that. So, but I have to give credit to Russ, right? We mentioned the trend of the Lady Ambassadors going on these mega runs and, coming down from these deficits and doing this and that. But we have to look at this game against Russ. Russ was down 8 points.
The Lady A's led the whole game.
And practically they did what we do to teams to us, right? They returned the favor. So, there was a couple guards from Russ that just went off on a tear, just
like I said, player of the year, Patsy Johnson.
Right. So definitely a heartbreaking. I'm a step away from my analyst post as well. Definitely a heartbreaking, game on the ambassador standpoint. But we can't overlook the accomplishments that they have done this season.
Yeah, Jonathan.
And, to answer your question, what I seen in that game that ultimately affected the loss was too many missed opportunities for points on the board, too many missed layups, and too many defensive lapses as well. There were moments where they would shoot a free throw and they would get their own rebound on a free throw. There were moments where they would get a lot, like I said before, a lot of offensive rebounds. I think the offensive rebounds and the defensive lapses of us missing assignments ultimately affected this outcome of the game. I think what also affected the outcome was letting them get comfortable. When we would score, they would literally roll the ball up the court multiple times, roll it, and we wouldn't contest them rolling the ball. They were comfortable in their sets. They were comfortable in everything they were doing. We didn't give them a chance to. We didn't contest their comfortability.
Yeah. And another thing we have to realize is Tranisha Adams didn't have her typical second half performance that she has been having all year. She shot the ball probably about 2 times, maybe even 3 times, and that's not a regular thing for Tranisha Adams. And ultimately, that affected us in ways where we ultimately lost the game. And
that first half was incredible.
I can't even say first half. That first quarter was incredible because Tranisha Adams didn't score after that first quarter, and that's not something that we saw at all throughout the whole season. Right. Jakyla Diawara, she had a great game, 14 points and 12 rebounds. Sanai Keys, it took her a little bit longer to get going than usual. Kamari Murray, the Lady A's couldn't find their shot down the stretch of that game, and then, like Jonathan said, defensive lapses and a lot of missed layups.
And I think that's where the contribution of Lydia going out in that game kind of hurts us.
Yes.
Because other than her, we really only had 2 real guards on the floor that game, and
I would like to also say, I feel like this is really the first time in a long time since we faced some adversity. I want to say against Wahoo, we faced some adversity. But also, earlier in the season when we played Pensacola, that was a great game, and we ultimately came out the game with both of those W's. So this is a first time in a long time where the team felt the season slipping away. And I feel like another reason why we lost it was because we believe we lost the game before the game was already over. You know what I'm saying? And that comes with being in that comes with being in the playoffs. This is the first time in a long time. This is the first time those set of girls have been in the playoffs this deep. So it comes with repetition. Comes with next year they get in. They're able to look back at this moment and be like, okay, we know what we have to do to ultimately come out with a championship win. And Russ went on to win the championship as well. So that could really tell you if we have one against Russ, we would have won the championship. I'm willing to say that. Sorry
to cut you off. Even when
real quick, because we got to switch over to the men's.
Yeah, even when losing Tranisha Adams to college, graduation. still a bright future for this Oakwood Lady Ambassadors.
Yes, no doubt. I have no doubt that Coach Ronnie Abrams he's going to continue to recruit. We heard him say it himself after the game. This is just the beginning. This Lady A's team is going to be here to stay. And hey, to the rest of the HBCUAC conference, watch out. Because I promise you, this is just the beginning. All that laughing stock stuff, it's over. The ambassadors are here to stay. And now we'll switch over to the men's team, who went on a Cinderella run of their own. Unlike the girls who were coming into the tournament heavily favored, this men's team was doubted. This men's team was overlooked. This men's team was some expected them to lose to 1-19 Wiley College. No, that did not happen. They beat Wiley College in the first game, 79-66. Then they beat Dillard, who beat them earlier in the year, 80-66. Then they went on to upset Talladega Tornadoes, 85-84, before losing to Tougaloo in the semifinals, 80-71. This was a Cinderella run reminiscent to 2018 Loyola. You pick whatever Cinderella run you want to talk about.
George Mason.
Yes, you feel me? But look, this was a team who a few years back, they never won a tournament game in the NAIA since leaguing up a few years back.
They never even won more than 5 games.
They had it. Shout out Jordan Bell and also shout out Tranisha Adams. Both of them were named first team all tournament, all HBCUA tournament. But Jordan Bell, averaging 17 points in the tournament, 51% shooting, and 6 rebounds a game over the 4 games. Guys, let's just talk about the whole tournament as a whole. Leading up to the Tougaloo game, this was the most I've ever been happy to be an Ambassador fan. The Talladega game, that was the most hype I've ever been watching an Ambassador game. Let me hear you guys' thoughts on the tournament for the men.
Yeah, I could definitely speak on the Talladega game because I was in person there. And that felt like March. I know it was late February when it happened, but it felt like March with all the chaos that was going on. The Oakwood Ambassadors were pretty much down 10 the whole game, right? And I had left my post, my journalist post, and sat in the stands because I'm like, oh man, well, it was a good little run, 2 wins. That's more than we can ask for. But all of a sudden, once I stopped caring, that's when everything went down, right? That's when, we got a couple steals. I think Chase hit a 3 or
Barnett hit a nice 3.
A deep 3, like with confidence, right in front of me. That was crazy.
And he had to hit one all second half.
Literally, and then some chaos. I think Talladega turned the ball over. And Jordan Bell, Naftal heavily, involved in that steal, and then Jordan Bell finished it off with an open layup.
Ball bounced the right way.
Chaos. So, just witnessing that was just incredible. That's more than I can ask for as a fan, and someone that's involved in Oakwood. Like that's more than I can ask for. And hats off to the Oakwood Ambassadors for winning 3 games and going far.
Yeah, to the Final Four.
Yeah.
Yeah, that like Lisa said before, this was a Cinderella run that we didn't expect
for the ages.
For the ages, we got more than we asked for with even that second win against Dillard, and we lost to them earlier in the season. And I was hearing the players telling we owe them, and they definitely did owe them, and they got their get back. But that Talladega game, man, oh man, that right there.
Mind you, the Ambassadors have never beat Talladega.
Literally.
Never. 0-6 in the last 3 years for Talladega. Sean Walker kills them every time.
So that even for me, I literally was sitting. I'm sitting next to Daliso at the game, and Lisa's like, "Come on, guys, come on." I told Lisa, I said, "Hey, bro, I accept my fate." I said, "Hey, bro, we made it this
they
far."
were happy with them 2 games.
I was just like, "Hey, bro, we've come this far." But hey, it's like the Ambassadors heard what I was saying. I was like, "Oh no, John don't believe in us." But I was over there trying to reverse psychology. I was like, "Nah, it's done."
That's what it was.
But no. They were down 10 the whole game.
Yeah.
And they fought. And what I seen from that right there, after that win, I was convinced we could go to the chip.
They went on a 26-12 run in the last I want to say the last 5 minutes. The Ambassadors cranked up the intensity like we talked about Joshua Barnett. Complete masterclass. 28 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds on 61% shooting. And like you already stated, a clutch 3 from him to cut the lead to 1. Then Jordan Bell, like you stated again, hitting the go-ahead bucket, finishing with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 steals. And we already know, basically all those points came in the second half because he had a slow start in the first half. Grenard Polynice. People aren't going to look at the stat line. He didn't score a lot of points. No. 6 points, 6 assists, 10 rebounds, and 3 steals. Those are the type of stats right there that we talked about going into the tournament. Our star players have to play like stars. We need the grittiness, and we need the intensity. And once they did that, Talladega didn't know what hit them. This was a different ambassador team. And after they beat Talladega, Oakwood was the only team in the tournament with both men and women's team in the Final Four. It got to a point where I did, and I know you guys did at this point too, we expected the men to win it all at this point. They came this far, it's not it's a feel-good story anymore. It's like, no, we expect the men to win it all. Same like we expected the women to win it all. And then sadly, the Tougaloo just outplayed us. They wanted it more. They wanted it more, and that's what we saw the next day when they fell victim to Tougaloo.
And on top of that,
Joshua Barnett
had an uncharacteristic game where he just scored 1 point.
He couldn't get things going.
And 5 turnovers.
Yeah, so Jordan Bell, another slow start. Tougaloo just outworked us. Nonetheless, like we already stated, this was a great run for the boys.
Of course.
They never won a tournament game. Mm-hmm. Same for the girls. The girls had never won a tournament game. We came on here when the boys had 8 wins, talking about road to 10 wins. Then we go to the Final Four. This team won 12 games this year, after winning a combined 9 games since 2022.
Yeah. You guys, for the fans, bro. The sun is, we're seeing the light of day, bro. The program is taking a turn, men's and women's.
And to the freshmen, the freshmen are out here. The freshman students at Oakwood are talking about something. What are you guys happy for? 12 wins? No, they're spoiled. But I want them to be spoiled. They shouldn't be happy about 12 and 19. They should want to see wins, and wins. It should be a normal thing. And they're coming. Like Jonathan said, the light at the end of the tunnel. We're here.
And hopefully we're not graduated by the time that they get good. Well, I mean, they're good now, but, before they get championship contenders.
Yeah. So that means we putting the pressure, it's on. Mm-hmm. They got 1 more year before I graduate. 1 more year for you, too.
I expect
2.
I expect 20 wins next year.
Everybody. Because if they get in my year, y'all going to hear me.
Hey, I'm going to be there, though.
I'm going to pull up to the game myself.
No doubt.
But no. This is all in all, although it was sad, that's what happens with basketball. You win some, you lose some. It was a great tournament, a great showing for both men and women's team for the Ambassadors. I was happy to call myself an ASN analyst.
Tranisha Adams, let me get that grade out of here, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, man.
But no, let's transfer over real quick and touch on softball and baseball so we can get to Bam Adebayo's 83. The softball team has dropped their last 4 games after starting 7-4 with 2 losses to Alabama A&M and 2 losses to Lane College, who the ladies previously beat 3 times earlier in the year. But really, no cause for panic. Phenom freshman pitcher Emma Newby got knocked out early into that Lane College game, and then Lane College took advantage and just got some bats up, and they took advantage when the Ambassadors were down their best pitcher in the conference. They took advantage.
Yo, this is a continuous thing that we have at Oakwood. We always got the best something. We always got the best somebody. Stop playing with our school, man.
Yeah. And we already know about Emma Newby and what she's done on the pitching side, but we have to acknowledge freshman Kanaja Arrington, who won Oakwood Player of the Week this past week, and before spring break was racking up 1,000 batting average. I don't think y'all know how hard that is in the major leagues.
Versus Alabama A&M.
Yeah. Versus a D1 institution, 1,000 batting average. Guys like Babe Ruth and Aaron Judge Shohei Ohtani are batting 280, 290.
Anybody?
She was batting 1,000. Any of them. She was batting 1,000, and against that game against A&M, she went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs.
Hold on. You said 3 for 3?
3 for 3. I don't know what you just did. I just went with it. All the way from Stonewall, Mississippi. Shout out Mississippi. These freshmen for for Oakwood softball team are coming, and
rounding into form.
Yeah, starting 7-4. That's incredible. I think then they go on a 7-game.
Yeah, they started off 7-0.
Yeah, that's insane. Like, I see this team being one in the conference, just like our Lady Ambassadors for basketball, and the sky's the limit from there.
And they'll get back to games versus Stillman this Saturday and Sunday. That is a conference game, but those games will have concluded by the time the episode is dropped. So we'll touch on those games in next week's episode. And as for baseball, the baseball team is 1-14, currently playing a 4-game series versus Stillman College, trying to turn things around just like softball. But we'll touch on that for next week's episode as well. Guys, why are we playing Stillman 4 games in a row?
I don't know.
Like, come on.
The NAIA
schedule makers. Why are we playing Stillman 4 games in a row?
I think it's because they had a rain delay.
Okay, so had to reschedule something?
Yeah, this week, and now I guess it's a scheduling conflict.
Okay.
Speaking of baseball, Jordan Jennings is having a great year. This year he has 11 runs, 12 hits. He leads the team in batting average and OPS, and is tied second on the team in RBIs. So that is our senior. He is our team captain. So we just got to give you your flowers. You deserve it. But
yes,
we got more that we're worried about, and it's getting some wins.
Getting some wins on the belt.
And I think the wins are coming. I know y'all look at me crazy. And
I didn't look at you crazy.
I mean, I know. I
believe the wins are coming.
Yeah,
I need the wins.
I watch this team practice every day. To go out there and lose? No.
Yeah.
No, and I know the wins are coming.
I guarantee double-digit wins this season. I stand by that. I don't know.
I don't know about double-digit wins, but
what are we 1-14? So we have 15 games left, right?
20 more games.
We can win. We can win half of those.
Hey, I hope we can.
I think we can.
I hope we can too. Only time will tell. But we're rooting for the baseball team and the softball team. That's all we're gonna talk about. So you guys gonna know right with us what's going on. Let's transition over now. Bam Adebayo, 83 points. Man. On a random Tuesday night, the Max Crosby trade was nixed. He is still a Raider.
This guy.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, as you guys can see, I wanted to come up here and talk about Max Crosby, but I was clearly outvoted because Bam Adebayo stole the show on that same random Tuesday night. He scored 83 points in one NBA game. Yes.
Jeez.
The second most points scored all time in a game behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100 points. Psych out. But he scored 83 points in a game behind Wilt, passing Kobe, who previously held the second place record with 81. Bam Adebayo, in a 150-129 win over the Washington Wizards, scored 83 points on 20 for 43 shooting from the field, 7 for 22 on three-pointers, and a record 36 free throws made and a record 43 free throws attempted. This has sparked a lot of controversy over the NBA world, the Twitter world, the ASN world, and our group chat, whatever you want to talk about it.
The 336 world.
How do you feel about
sports world?
How do you feel about Bam Adebayo scoring 83 points? Is that good for the NBA? Is that bad for the NBA?
Man,
John, you start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Because Shane got a lot to say.
Well, I don't even know. It's not even that it's good for the NBA. It's not bad for the NBA. It doesn't make sense how somebody scoring 83 points, which is a record outside of Wilt Chamberlain that we've never seen before.
Yes.
It's great for the NBA because it's a moment for us to witness history. Not a lot of times we get to see somebody score 83 points.
Yeah.
And like we said, Bam had 40 at halftime. 40 points at halftime.
62 at the end of the third.
62 at the end of the third. And 70 points go with 9 minutes left in the game. So at that point, anybody would be like, no, I'm going for it.
Yeah, what are you gonna say?
Going for the record.
Coach, take me out.
No. Now the 2-minute fashion of how he got his points, it may have been ugly, and I agree with that. But it doesn't matter to me. If to do anything to get that record, do it.
Because he still scored 70 points up until that point. Were those ugly? Shame.
Mr. Walden, this is bad for the NBA. This is awful for the NBA.
Let me know.
I had just finished playing a game myself, intramurals game. I had dropped 1 point, but I think I had like 7 rebounds. But that's besides the point.
They don't even count rebounds in intramurals, by the way.
Mr. W. Williams had came up to me and literally told me Bam Adebayo had 77 points, and I thought he was trolling me. I thought, he was playing some sick joke, right? But lo and behold, I got in my car and I see Bam Adebayo has 83 points. Let me tell you why this is bad for the NBA. When we look at the record books, Wilt Chamberlain, Kobe Bryant,
and Bam Adebayo.
Forget him, right? we look at Kobe Bryant, Bam Adebayo, the late great, both of the late greats. We look at those guys and we see top 10 players of all time in the NBA. Mm-hmm. When you look at Bam Adebayo, what do you see? I don't see top 100 player in NBA history.
I see a good center.
I see a decent center that will get you 15 points on a random Tuesday, not 83.
I mean, shoot, he gave you 83 on a random Tuesday. You know why I think you're mad? Guys, Shane's going to parade up here and masquerade up here like he's an OKC Thunder fan since birth.
I am.
He's from Atlanta, Georgia. He's an Atlanta Hawks fan. And he's just mad that the mid-3 is splitting up. And by the mid-3, I mean the play-in invitational of the Heat, the Hawks, and the Bulls.
Hey, the Hawks are on a 7-game win streak.
Those three teams are always in the play-in, and now the Heat are starting to pull away, and he's hating. This is hate.
But let me tell you why I'm hating or why I'm mad, right? 20 years from now, when my son comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, Pops, look at the top 3 scorers in NBA history. Look at Kobe Bryant. Look at Wilt Chamberlain." He's gonna see Bam Adebayo and be like, "Who is this? This is unethical, man." Adam Silver and Coach Spoelstra for the Heat should have never let this happen.
Why?
Because
a player had it going.
It's a stain on NBA history.
A player had it going.
Yeah, he had it going at 60, and then he started, shooting all these free throws for the last 20
If you're
points.
that close to a record, why would you not want to etch your name in the books?
Yeah, I don't blame Bam Adebayo for going for it. I blame Spoelstra and the system for allowing that to happen.
I think
because you're disrespecting late greats like Kobe
said
Bryant.
to you in his interview?
Yeah, I know what he said. I can't say it on camera.
I apologize to absolutely nobody for what he did.
Yes, because I think this is great for the NBA. I'll close it off before you officially close it off. I think this was great for the NBA. Why? Because it shows on any given night, anybody can go score a bucket. Were dudes complaining when Malachi Flynn for the Detroit Pistons dropped 50?
Yeah.
No one was complaining.
No, you weren't.
No. Wrap it up.
But hey, last thing before I know we're running low on time. Last thing before I say, if I were to drop 40 points in the intramural game,
oh my goodness,
y'all would look at me like I'm crazy.
No,
that's not supposed to happen.
Nah,
because I'm not. That's not me. That's not Bam Adebayo, and that was unethical. And the NBA is going to
whenever Shane starts to compare himself to anybody who's in the actual league, that's how you know he's just hating.
Nah, man, it's not even hate. I wish it was hate, but it's
that's
just the
how
truth,
you know he's just hating.
Mom. But thank y'all for joining us after our long hiatus. It's good to be back, and we're gonna start pumping out these episodes for y'all on a weekly basis again. But thank y'all for joining us on this edition of the Ambassador Sports Network.
Thank you for watching the Ambassador Sports Network. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and tap that bell so you're notified every time we post.